February 29th. February 29th is a date that usually occurs every 4 years, and this is called Leap Day.
The month of February always has 28 days, except every 4 years. We add one more day on the end, February 29th. In other words, we add an extra day to our whole year. When this happens, this is what we call a leap year. Why do we do this? What's worse, think about how weird it is if it's a leap year and you were born on February 29th. Would that mean you don't get to have your first birthday until you're 4 years old? And that when all your friends are 8 years old, you're technically only 2 years old? These adults were all born on February 29th. Listen to them describe their age.
I'm Sherry, and I'm 11. I'm Genevieve, and I'm 12. And I'm Brianna, and I'm going to be 7.
Why do we do this? Why do we add an extra day to our calendar once every 4 years? First, you have to know something about our calendar. This calendar that we use today was something that was invented by people a long time ago. You might even know that our 1-year calendar contains 365 days. That's not just some random number that these ancient calendar inventors made up. They chose that number on purpose because it's the number of days it takes for the Earth to go around the sun. Or, another way of looking at that, 365 days is the number of days it takes for the Earth to go through all 4 seasons: winter, spring, summer, fall. These inventors of the calendar wanted the calendar to match what the Earth is actually doing. And 365 is the number of days in a year. But wait a second, because these same ancient inventors of the 365-day calendar that we use today, they're also the people who created the idea of a leap year, the idea of adding an entire day to our calendar once every 4 years. Why would they do that? It almost seems like a bad idea when you stop and think about it. I mean, if you want your calendar to match up nicely with the seasons, don't add an extra day. It's not like the Earth has an extra day in its orbit around the sun every 4 years. So why do we do this then? Well, the easiest way to answer this might be for us to imagine that you and your friends could travel back in time and stop the ancient inventors of the calendar from ever starting the idea of leap years to begin with. Let's imagine you did that. You and your friends go back in time, found the people who invented our calendar, and convinced them not to add February 29th. You say, we're smart, we're from the future, trust us. Let's just keep the calendar simple. Keep it at 365 days each year, always. Then you get in your time machine and you come back to the present. But guess what? As soon as you come back, you'd soon find out that you and your friends really messed something up with our calendar. Because now, winter is happening in the middle of August. Summer is happening in the middle of December. What? Now, whatever season your birthday was in, it's the opposite season. Oh no. What have you done? At this point, you and your friends decide to go find an expert who studies how the Earth moves around the sun, an astronomer. You ask them, what did we screw up? They tell you, well, actually, we found out a long time ago that the Earth doesn't go around the sun in 365 days. Wait, what? It doesn't? Well, it's just not exactly 365 days. 365 is just a close number. You see, when ancient astronomers studied the sky very carefully, they were able to figure out that 1 year isn't quite 365 days. It's not 366 days either. It's somewhere in between that. In fact, it's about 365 days plus 6 hours. A year isn't perfectly 365 days? There's an extra 6 hours? What do you do with that on a calendar? This is a tricky problem. If you completely ignore the extra 6 hours, you don't even worry about putting them on your calendar, well, that's no good, because even though it is just a little bit of time, As each year goes by, those extra 6 hours keep adding up. Eventually, after a few hundred years, the months on your calendar won't be connected to the right seasons anymore. That's what happened in that time machine scenario. One of your friends has an idea. What if every year we add a day to the calendar, but it's a day that's only 6 hours long? That is one way to solve this problem. Now the calendar will match how long the Earth actually takes to go around the sun each year. It's a little bit of a weird way to solve it, though. Think about it. A day that's only 6 hours long, you'd be sleeping, then wake up, eat your breakfast, then get your teeth brushed, and it'd be like, oh, 6 hours is almost over. It's almost March 1st now. Time for bed again, I guess? Most people probably don't want a weird 6-hour day on their calendar. Another friend has a different idea for how to solve this. What if, instead of adding a 6-hour day to the calendar, and instead of ignoring the 6 hours altogether, we just ignore the 6 hours for a few years? We save them up. Then, once every few years, we can just add an entire day and it will all even out. Now that's a pretty great idea. And you know how many years you should wait before you add an entire day? Well, if you wait every 4 years, that adds up to one entire day. That's what a leap year is. And that is why the ancient people who invented this calendar decided a long, long time ago to make sure we add an extra day once every 4 years, so that the calendar we're using always stays lined up with how long it takes for the Earth to go around the sun.
Today's lunch is pizza. Today's birthday is Bronson M. in Miss Epifanio's class. Happy birthday! This time for Fitness February, we're going to do lunges in place. We're going to do 5 on each side. Let's get pumped!